Okay, so for this one with the cube, there's actually a common factor of a, so we'll just factor that out front. And that's going to leave us 3a squared plus 4a plus 8 equals 0. And then in the answer, it has the real solution. Actually, let me just bring that over here. The real solution for a is this one, and then the imaginary numbers are telling me that we're going to end up doing the quadratic formula here is going to be that. So the real solution they're mentioning is right there. It's just that a in front equals 0, because if a were 0, 0 plus 0 plus 0 would make 0. So there's your real one. And then from here we have our a, b, and c. And if I were going to try to factor it, 3 times 8 would be 24. Nothing multiplies 24 and makes 4. And then I definitely wouldn't try to complete the square there, because that 3 would be terrible. So we'll just go straight to the quadratic formula. So this is going to go a equals, actually let me come down here with it. A equals negative b, so negative 4 plus or minus 4 squared minus 4 times a is 3, and then c is 8, all over 2a. And then again, that's my a right there, so 2 times 3 would be 6. And then a equals negative 4 plus or minus 16. That is 12 times 8 is 96. All over 6. And so then a equals negative 4 plus or minus, looks like negative 80 over 6. And actually, I think I just made a video on an earlier question for you where I was saying, yeah, this would be a terrible one to do the quadratic formula on. This is pretty much exactly what it does, is you get all this reducing right here. So that 80, so 80 is the same thing, and it's negative, so it's going to be an I. But 80 is the same thing as 16 times 5. And so I'm going to take the root of the 16, bring it out front, and I'll leave the 5 inside. So that's going to be negative 4 plus or minus square root of 16 to bring out a 4i, and then root 5 is, the 5 is still under the radical, and then the 6 is down there. And then this one's going to reduce a little bit more, because if there's a number that divides into all 3 of those places, that means you can reduce that value out. And that's because this is really like negative 4/6 over this mess. Because that plus or minus, I could write it with separate denominators. Anyhow, an easier way to think of that is just whatever divides into all of them, you can divide that out. So it looks like I can cancel out a 2 from everywhere. So I would have negative 2 plus or minus 2i root 5 over 3. And again, it wouldn't, in case you're having some thoughts about wanting to try to cancel it there as well, think of this as like 4 root 5 over 6i, and then what you're doing is you're reducing that fraction in front, and that's becoming that 2/3. Cool, hopefully that helped.